So what's up everybody? This is going to be a Black Clover discussion in terms of what the future of Black Clover is going to look like. New race like angels, what happens if Lucifero actually gets defeated, what happens if Asta actually dies. So let's get into this. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, like, comment. I read the comments, subscribe. I'm pretty much building the channel back from scratch. So if you really enjoy this content, subscribing, liking, commenting is highly appreciated. So I was asked this before about Black Clover. Where do we go from here? The fact that Lucifero came out to the real world, how does the story going to continue? A lot of us have been wondering this. In my opinion, even if Lucifero is, from what it looks like, half manifested, he's still a major threat to the world. The fact that Lucifero is in the human world, there's going to be a lot of chaos to come after it. I know Lucifero only came out with the Supreme Devil from the second level, so it's not like he has Beelzebub and possibly Astaroth with him, but still Lucifero at 50%, he can cause a lot of damage. So I think what's going to happen moving forward is that Lucifero is most likely going to either make the Black Clover world into a post-apocalyptic world, or he gets pushed back and there's going to be another race of beings that we're going to fight. I did mention this in prediction videos, but I do believe there's going to be angels in Black Clover. It's just too many hints as to angels not being in Black Clover. You know, the elves, they did the ritual, which was the tree of life, which is the opposite of the tree of death or the tree of cliff off. The tree of life has to do with angelic beings. That's when the Shadow Palace came, and then Zagreth came out, which some argue that Zagreth was the catalyst for the tree of cliff off. It might have sparked Lucifero to try to open it now than later. But moving forward, yes, I do believe there's going to be angelic or divine beings. And if Asta dies, like what Julius said, because he predicted that Asta will die, then we might have an arc or like a mini arc that Asta goes to the spirit world or the divine world or whatever world that's not the underworld where the devils are at, but the opposite. And I think he's going to learn more about these angelic beings and divine beings, and it might actually help him out to become a stronger fighter when he comes into the real world, because he could learn techniques that aren't known of towards humans. He can learn techniques that are really only learned by angelic beings. Doesn't mean he has to have the mana or he has to be possessed by an angelic being, but there's a possibility that he could get a angelic or divine being to come along with him when he comes back to life. I think there's a strong possibility that Asta, when he dies, Libe still stays in the Grimoire. Maybe Noel, the Black Bulls, holds his Grimoire and preserves Asta's body, something similar to what happened to Alibaba and Magi, where his soul went to like the afterlife, but they preserved his body with magic, and it was like 1,000 years for Alibaba, and he learned a lot of techniques when he came back to the real world. It could be the same way Asta learned some techniques that helps him with his fighting, helps him with his swordsmanship, helps him with actually learning how to use anti-magic and also possibly ki, because ki is a way to sense pretty much life force, but in certain martial arts it's also used as energy. So there could be a power system using ki, so Tabata could go that route and use it as an energy force for some type of power system that hasn't been introduced yet, but I'm leaning more towards that not actually happening. I just think Asta will learn new attacks or new abilities that the normal human wouldn't know. To me, it's clear angels do exist in Black Clover, because now that we have a saint stage, people were saying there was no foreshadowing to this, but Spirit Dive kind of did foreshadow this, especially if it's coming from angels, because Spirit Dive looks angelic. Noel's Spirit Dive also looks somewhat angelic, even though it's based on a Valkyrie, but Valkyries, a little stretch, kind of look female warrior angels. So it's a huge possibility that angels do exist in Black Clover. There's just been so many hints throughout the story. And if Asta does die, like what Julius said, what happened to him, there could be a whole introduction of races, types of mana. Shout out to Broku, who said about the 6-leaf Grimoire. There's just so many things that could happen moving forward, and I'm excited where Tabata will take this. I know that Asta will get a power up coming up soon, but yeah, that's all I have to say about this. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, let me know what you think about this discussion / theory. Do you think there's a possibility that Asta does die or meets angels? Do you think it's a possibility that the world will become a post-apocalyptic world? How do you feel about Asta possibly getting new powers from angelic beings? It may not have to do with a mana system, it could be with ki, or he could just learn some some combative abilities that will help him with his swordsmanship moving forward. Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.